Alright, so it was a beautiful day today after the freezing rain ended, surprisingly. Topped out around 60 or so, wind kind of died off a little bit, had the screen up, got some fresh air in here. Mainly to get rid of that smell, the gear oil, right? So I went ahead, I wanted to get it out of the black drain pan just to have a better look at it. It looks super clean when I was pumping it out, and I mean, that's the case now. But there's our new little Hazet deal again. My thoughts on that, I would probably use it for like as weird as it seems, I thought brake fluid, which that's the one fluid you don't really want to spill on anything, right? So that's probably what I will wind up doing. I'll have to clean it real good, but that's surprisingly what we pumped out of the front diff, so it's kind of interesting to see it in like a vertical cylinder type format. But anyway, what we're gonna do now is run over under the truck. I realize I need to grab the creeper, and I might start prying it out. Now, unfortunately, the front diff, we had a really nice fill plug, right? Everything was sort of like you know, square and hex based stuff on your front end. The back is just like a rubber grommet type of a deal. I want to be really careful, so I've got a custom prepped screwdriver here with a little bit of masking tape on her, so we'll try not to tear anything. But that's what we'll do. I'll take you over there, kind of show you as it sits. We'll clean it a little bit, and we'll pry it off, and we will start pumping. Alright, so surprisingly good light under here. It's dark outside now, but this is just shop light, so pretty ample viewing, I would say. But if we turn that on, you can probably see it a little bit better. So this is the rear end of the truck, obviously, if you couldn't tell by the spare tire and the shocks and the gas tank and everything, and nothing being in my face, drag it down from the front end. But that is our plug right there. You can kind of see this is just some sort of a stain of some sort, but right over there, sort of towards the bottom right of the camera, that's going to be the plug we want to get out. Should be able to pump it dry pretty easy. I'm assuming that's a decent size opening. We'll find out here shortly. Perk of doing this, we get to keep all the tags in place, don't run the risk of losing them or anything stupid. And that said, I'm going to clean this up a little bit, and then we will get to pumping. Alright, just did something really dumb. I thought my left hand was clean because I was using my right hand, and as I looked at the camera, I'm making sure, like, hey, I want to keep that clean, I'll just left hand this. Yeah, not sure where that got dirty, but oh well, the damage is done now. And I want to show you, instantly noticed, I've got the grommet out sitting over there on a little 5-quart whatever carry lid. Some of that is residual from the front diff, which was super clean. What we start seeing coming out right here, you know, this is like a super pale, just kind of almost brand new, whereas that has got some brown to it. Yeah, that's this is seeing a little bit more action. And let me see. I wish that would aim down. I can't really. Let's see. Please stay in the pen. There, it's kind of coming. You can get a good look of it as it drops out of that tube. It's definitely a good bit darker than what we had up front. I'm gonna pray that that balances. There we go. Don't think we're gonna make a mess. But yeah, this one was definitely ready to be changed. Again, front, that stuff looked mint. This definitely looks like it's about time to swap it out. So using the same setup here, just like a little hand pump thing, it worked really well on the front diff. If I have to, I can bust out the big guns there. I also got a new one from AMS Oil. But right now, I'm just going to start pumping here. It's getting really cold, and it's probably because I'm back here by the door. But I'm going to set the camera down, pray I didn't get it too dirty, and get back to work. Alright, so got everything pumped out. I want to say it was around 408 strokes. Granted, we did like a couple, maybe 3 or 4, to get it circulating for the video so you could take a look at it. But according to the specs, the rear axle, 9 1/4, we're going to need 6.8 pints and 7 ounces of friction modifier, of course, because I've got the limited slip here. 6.8 pints is 3.4 quarts, and of course the way these AMS Oil come is 1 quart per little Capri Sun pack. So I've got 4 of them here. We'll basically use 3 full and a partial. Now where things get interesting, and of course the specs from Chrysler say 7 ounces of limited slip additive, and what we have here, slip lock from AMS Oil, it's 4 ounces. So you would think, man, you're going to need like 2 of these, almost can use that thing entirely. there's really no good way to meter out, you know, 3/4 of an ounce from something that's more like a toothpaste tube, a unit of measurement, right? And where it gets interesting is this, on the bottle says 4 ounces, which again, that's what this is, treats 2 to 4 quarts of gear lube. So going by their specs, our 3.4 quarts, we're going to be well within range here, towards the upper limit. So we'll just kind of see. My plan, I guess I'm going to put probably 2 full quarts, and then this again is my idea of how I would mix it, if you will. I guess in theory we could probably, I don't exactly know what this looks like. It's probably a bad idea to do this one-handed, but in theory I'm guessing we could like pre-mix this in one of the quart bags, now that I think about it. Certainly hope that this is sealed to some degree. Okay, so I mean, nothing major, we'll just cut it, nothing crazy. So yeah, we could totally throw that in and then shake it up again, because, you know, hey, why not try to mix it ahead of time, right? Makes zero difference, but it's the thought that counts. As long as the truck in the rear end knows that we put forth that extra effort to shake, not stir, it should be happy, right? So anyway, that's what I'm going to do, is simply just fill these things up. Super easy to do here in the back because we got tons of room, and I guess I will get started on it because I have lasagna in the oven and I've got 30 minutes before I have to go pull the plastic. So actually less than that now, I've got about 18. So I'll get something to cut this, we'll go to town, get this all mixed up, get the rear end in gear. Alright, so true to my word, I went ahead, I shot almost that entire bottle into this one, so I guess I will fill with that one first again, just because, why not? This time around I didn't use bolt cutters, I used the Knipex super cutters. And I don't know where that white thing went. It didn't shoot up to the ceiling like it did. I felt like it went somewhere in this area, but I'm not seeing anything white. So that said, we've got this one pre-mixed. Again, I grabbed one of my pre-cut ones from the other day. So we're going to thread that on, and again, I don't know about you, but I hate these stupid seals on these bottles, anything like this. They either come off great or they don't come off at all. I typically get like 3 layers. In fact, you know, you've got like the white cardboard or paper, then you've got your foil layer, but then there's like that plastic film layer underneath it. I've never had good luck with those things, and still the case here tonight. So needless to say, I'm gonna fill this, jump into this one, and who knows, I might put a little extra in there, but I'll get her filled up. I tell you what, right as I start to complain, I do the same. I thought this one was going really well and it was complete debacle, but look at that. That is the best I've ever done with one of these from AMS Oil. So I guess I just needed to complain about it publicly, and then hey, everything works great. So still leaves a little film, but it's so tacky and adhesive based, I don't think it's gonna affect anything. So with that said, time to quit yakking, get down there, start dumping these things in, because like I said, I don't want to burn my lasagna. All right, so here we are. It's a day later, but got everything plugged up. Hit it again with a shot of that nasty pina colada stuff. Just trying to use it up. And the pump, best way to drain that thing out, right, is gravity. There's nothing you can do. You can sit there and pump it all day. You're never going to get that residual out. So it's a little difficult because the line is still wanting to bend. Not sure if you can see it. I don't think you can. But it should, on the pump side, you know, drain down, I guess, once it loses suction. Everything else, I've got it positioned so as much as possible, so I'll just drive you up here, is hanging down, hopefully. So plan is to just leave that and let nature take its course there. But didn't quite use as much fluid as I thought we should, or at least as the spec said we should. And needless to say, I had a pretty good run out there, because again, I was planning on using quite a bit more. And the thing is, you know, I had pumped it dry, and I looked in, you know, and I wasn't seeing standing gear oil, and I don't quite know where it would be. So who knows what's going on there, but it is full, you know, it's right there at spec. You take that plug out, put your finger in, it's there. And I guess if we have any issues, we'll just shoot some friction modifier in as time goes by. So, but with that said, we got our front and rear diff done. I'm thinking I'll make this video because I was thinking more about it, you know, in the transfer case. Kind of makes sense to just do that at the same time with the transmission fluid, right, and filter. So we'll do that at some point in time. Again, I think way back, way before this was a Ram revival. Put the B&M pan on there, of course, for the drain plug, because that's such a freaking nice feature that should be standard on everything. But we've got a deeper aluminum pan from B&M, and of course, it's with a drain plug. So that'll make our life easier. In fact, that filter's probably fine. We could just change the fluid if we wanted to, but who knows? That's for another date, another time. But anyway, maybe at some point in time we'll revisit this, get like a fancy diff cover or something. But for now, I think this will suffice, and we'll move on to bigger and better things. So right now I'm debating throwing chain hoist over beams, and if it's gonna collapse the roof or not, and all kinds of good stuff. So it's a shame aluminum gantry cranes cost so much, and it's a shame that I have to spend so much money to get an aluminum I-beam. I'll just leave it at that for now. But anyway, this was the Ram revival. Hopefully this helps you out a little bit. Again, if this is a situation where if you're religious about this stuff, you change it all the time, you can utilize something like this and avoid having to pull the cover. As always, if you're purchasing the vehicle, it's best to go ahead and pull the cover, inspect everything, see if there's any residual metal down at the bottom where it's going to collect, and approach it in that manner. But again, if you are the vehicle historian, if you know the history, whether you picked it up, second-hand, third-hand owner, whatever it might be, you've maintained it religiously, you know all the ins and outs, this is a really nice option because it saves so much mess. It's debatable if you save a whole lot of time or not. I'm inclined to say yes, just because, of course, you'd have to be prepping, the two surfaces and everything. But this is a good way to do it leak-free, get a quick oil change, and who knows. But like I said, if you know the history and you want to save yourself a little time and mess, you can do this. I think the quicker way and the better way to make this significantly more enjoyable for yourself is if you had a Mighty Vac or something similar, where instead of me sitting there and pumping that, 200 to 400 times, you can just evacuate it with air and put forth basically zero effort. So and then it's also in a really nice container, so you don't have to do what I do and transfer it to another container and then to a gallon jug and haul it off. You just got it in a nice cylinder that you can haul off and dump and dispose of properly. But anyway, it is an option, and like I said, maybe at some point in time when funds allow, we'll spring for a cool diff cover or something. But for now, we got it done. That's what matters the most. Hope you're enjoying, maybe learning a little something. Again, let me know. What do you prefer to do? Do you go old school? Do you pop the cover off every single time? Do you create your own gasket? Do you slather on silicone? Do you actually run a quart gasket and not have it leak? Or do you do, like the Mighty Vac route? Or are you super awesome like me and kind of save the $150 and just sit here and pump a long time? So, like I said, never done it this way before, but certainly pretty good. Where that would come in really handy is like if you've got a race car, like a dedicated track car, and you come in and you think, okay, hey, in the season, I'm going to pump this out. Granted, you should inspect it. Maybe you've made some changes or something upstream and you're just doing kind of preventative maintenance type of a deal. You've been hard on it. Who knows? But it does have a time and place, and it works pretty good. So with that said, the AMS Oil went in fine here. The only issue, I do kind of wish, instead of that being straight, any time you wanted to pull back and kind of see how you were doing, inevitably the nozzle, like the tip of the quart bag, it drags in the fluid and pulls some out. If that doesn't happen, it's really hard to get that stopped by pulling up, when you've got it down or straight in, and then you have to come out and tilt up. It still seems to leak. So my advice, throw some cardboard down if you're kind of working with a smaller pan or something. But we did it relatively mess free. But again, it is a nice touch. I still I've used the bottles my entire life. I see how these would be super nice, and you can basically just treat it like Capri Sun and just down the thing, get every last drop out, which is sort of cool. But, and to be fair, in the case of this with the spare tire here, I don't think the quart bottles fit anyway, so you kind of have to tweak it. But with that said, I got some other stuff going on. I'm going to roll out of here, and my neck is kind of getting a crick. So hopefully this helped you out, though. LoneStarMopars.com is the website. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, all three at Lone Star Mopars.